Lovely jubbly.
Second to death and divorce, moving home is said to be one of the most stressful things we'll ever do.
Oh, I don't believe it.
And yet we're a nation obsessed with moving.
There's my house in there.
Although the emotional cost is high,
Not great.
the average Briton moves 7 times in their life.
I haven't got the foggiest idea which key I've got to use.
Time to bring in some experts.
We're here to pick up the pieces and look out for them.
Pickfords, the largest removal firm in the country.
OK.
It's the first time I've moved anybody blinds.
These lads have seen it all.
Let me put it this way, it's unusual.
Done it all.
I call it a toe. These hands should play for Chelsea.
Every year they shift a staggering 250,000 people across the UK and beyond. That's 1 every 3 minutes.
You don't want to go upstairs.
I'm not going through this again. Ever. Ever.
This time,
Don't like America. Everything's too big.
a thrash metal singer moves to New York.
I love the idea of joining a metal band in New York and with the whole scene that's going on there.
A super hoarder faces a traumatic move.
She's surrounded with things. It's like a big comfort blanket.
Sorry.
And Lee is pushed to the limit.
It looks worse.
Oh, no.
This is a nightmare. I actually feel like going home.
In this 5-bedroomed house in Salisbury, homemaker and part-time political lobbyist Shona Ferrier is on tenterhooks.
I quite like to be organised and if I'm not organised, get a bit stressed.
Okay, we're going to close it. Squeeze it.
She's taking her 2 toddlers, Finley and Ella, 2 kittens, Archie and Aggie, the family dog, Coco, and husband John, 468 miles north to Scotland to be closer to her mum and dad.
I've really noticed being isolated from family and really as the kids are getting older as well, they don't get to see their grandparents very often because it's a 9-hour trip, so they only really get to see their grandparents every kind of 4 or 6 months.
It'll also be a chance to spread out, as their new house is a sprawling 3,300 square feet, with 16 rooms and outbuildings.
It's a former rectory. It's quite a nice big stone building. It's quite a big place. I think it's 5 bedrooms. We've got plans to make an extension to the kitchen and extend into the loft.
Their current 5-bedroom house is bursting at the seams with toys, books and belongings. And outside, there's a jam-packed garden shed.
Still here. I'll put it in my lorry.
Shona's last move was a disaster, and she has some delicate items that will need extra care.
I've got quite a lot of mirrors. I'm not entirely sure how many I've got. I really like having mirrors. Rather than having a picture on the wall, I really think a mirror is like a moving picture. We did get a few damage when we moved here.
Every year, Pickfords move around 18,000 families, and many of them are moving to be closer to relatives. In the Bournemouth depot, the team know this job will be larger than usual.
Right, the job we're about to start today is over 5 days. There's a hell of a lot to do, and it'll probably fill the trailer right up if the estimate's right.
Move team leader Lee is a master of all trades. From driving 10-ton monster trucks to packing up castles, he's done it all. With 20 years behind the wheel for the company, Dave is also a team leader. And Vespa enthusiast Tony has been a porter for 12 years. Tony's a real home pigeon, and he's nervous about what's waiting for him in Scotland.
It's always raining, it's extremely cold and very, very windy.
I'm looking forward to this then.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get frozen.
I've got my thermal, so I'm all right.
30% of the company's customers opt to park pack, and Shona is hoping she'll save £400 by doing it herself.
So I know where everything is. Each box has got a number. I've got some labels and put the number of the box on the box. Put Finley Cars.
But the boxes people use when they part pack can cause problems.
A lot of people think, you know, just put a box in a truck and that's it, but obviously you've got to stack this truck to the ceiling, and what you put on that box, the box has got to be able to sustain the weight. Kind of suss it out when we get there, really, and see what we're in for.
With 10 tons of possessions, the team will use a specialist truck, affectionately named the Arctic.
Well, this is a new experience for me. I've never been in one of these before.
This monster vehicle has 18 gears and weighs in at an impressive 28 tons when fully loaded, the weight of a humpback whale.
And there's a dog, isn't there? Is that true, or is that just a joke?
I don't really know, to be honest.
I mean, so they're only as good as, you know, they get trained, aren't they, really? A bit like a removal man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Sounds a bit...
Doom, isn't it?
Hound of the Baskervilles, as I recall.
An anxious Shona is about to meet her packers.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
I've been a bit worried about all the stuff we've got to do. It's quite stressful, but near the end.
And a nervous Lee is hoping that Shona's packing will be up to standard.
Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
That's absolute
beautiful.
Magic. And don't try and unwrap any of them presents, Tone. I know I've seen you looking at them. They're for the children.
I thought Christmas to come early.
But with so many belongings yet to box, Shona will need to pack fast to keep up with the crew. For the moment, she's confident.
Yeah, I'm pretty organised. I don't know if you saw my wardrobe, it's all colour-coded. So clothes are by colour piles.
Shona's mirrors were damaged in the last move and Tony is treading carefully.
So I had an accident last year in Dordogne with a mirror. So I've taken a bit of wood away and the next minute the mirror's just gone shattered all over the van. A bit nervous around mirrors, but I can get over it now, hopefully.
Careful, mate, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
But by 12 o'clock, with 13 rooms to empty, Shona's packing system is falling behind Lee and the crew.
Oh, right, OK. We have encountered this many times before. OK.
I've not got any John any t-shirts.
Oh, do you want to run past?
I've got to get the other one. I'm not taking John any t-shirts out.
Is that the one we took down just now?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we can get it. 2 seconds.
All right. Fabulous.
No worries.
I forgot to take any clothes out for John.
I've had people that have left keys in some drawers they've asked us to take, and I said, have you checked them? Yeah, we checked them. Fine, we put it on the truck. 4 hours later, when the truck's loaded, oh, the front door keys were in that, we need it. It's an absolute nightmare.
Coming up, the Ferrier move goes from bad to worse.
You know, I'll be ripping my hair out. I've done that this morning already, there's nothing left to rip.
And things go wrong when a rocker and his family move to New York.
It's really hard saying goodbye to people.
In Devon, widowed retiree Francesca Witcher is getting ready to say goodbye to the 4-bedroom cottage that has been her home for the last 14 years.
It's been a lovely house and I hate leaving it, but I'm moving because it's got too isolated down here and being on my own. There are days when perhaps the postman's the only person I speak to in a day. So I needed to be near family. I just miss my family and I very rarely see them.
Francesca and her loyal Labrador Jessie will be moving from Devon, 116 miles across the border to a village in Somerset, a stone's throw from her brother Paul. He runs a cafe in the town and is looking forward to her living closer.
She has been in a house that was sort of right out in the wilds, at the end of a lane. And yes, I think she's been lonely, so I think a move is going to do her the world of good. It's an incredibly positive move, her coming up and becoming part of our family again and our community.
But Francesca's not going anywhere until the house is all packed up, and there's quite a lot to pack.
I'm an inveterate collector and hoarder. I have a collection of ducks in the bathroom, and I have a collection of elephants.
She's surrounded with things. It's like a big comfort blanket.
I don't seem to be able to stop myself from collecting.
Francesca's collections fill the house, 2 gardens and 5 sheds, and it's all coming with her.
Come on. Come in. We've got work to do, boy.
Helping Francesca relocate with her precious cargo of collectibles is the Southwest crew.
I haven't taught you all this for nothing.
Well, I think you've taught me quite a lot, Dave.
Well, thank you. 9 years of it.
Crew boss is ex-deep sea trawlerman Big Dave, who's been in removals for 25 years. Damien's first job was cabbage cutting on a farm, which he gave up to learn removals under the paternal eye of Dave. And rookie of the crew is 24-year-old Doug.
White stockings, she wore. White stockings, she wore.
Come on, Doug, join in, mate.
Going up Camborne Hill, coming down.
This is what you get with me, Dave. You come out on a job, that bit sing-song.
No extra charge.
The crew have been briefed on the move by the depot and will be working to a tight 2-day packing schedule. What they don't know is that Francesca hasn't yet exchanged contracts.
This has just gone on long enough, and I need it done. I really need it done now.
If she doesn't exchange soon, it'll throw the whole move out of whack.
It's got to work. It's got to work today, please. Please let it work.
Good morning, Mrs. Witcher.
Good morning.
Pleased to meet you, I'm David.
Yes, no, I'm Francesca.
Oh, Francesca.
Yeah.
This one's Damien.
Oh, hello, Damien.
Pleased to meet
And
you.
that's Doug.
Doug. And you're Dave.
I'm Dave again.
Dave. It's a bit like the TARDIS.
Some customers opt to do their own packing. Not Francesca. She's wisely booked in for the full packing service, which will cost nearly £3,000. It's beginning to dawn on Dave just how much work there is to do here.
You don't want to go upstairs, Doug.
There's a lot of stuff.
We'll be here till Sunday, I think.
£3,000 will get 500 boxes, 3 days and everything wrapped in tissue paper.
Here we go, box number 1 out of 500.
Wow. Haven't seen that piece of floor for a long time.
To be honest, I haven't seen so much stuff as this lying around for a long, long time.
While it's full steam ahead with the packing, on the legal side, Francesca still hasn't exchanged contracts.
I thought they'd agreed that. That's a lovely cake stand. My mother used to put the Advent cake on that.
While she's waiting for that all-important call, there's no shortage of people to talk to.
And that is just a lovely fruit bowl.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We do have customers that stand over us and watch us pack, which is a bit unnerving, especially each item you pick up to put in a box. They tend to tell you how much that item is worth.
So that's probably one of the most valuable things, actually, that little box
that tiny little wooden box. And, you know, who it's made by and how special it is to them.
I made it out of buzzard's feathers I collected.
Really, you just want to pack it up and get it in the box and get it in the van, you know.
Although the crew have made a serious dent in the packing, it could all be a complete waste of time if Francesca doesn't exchange.
Oh, that's for you.
Hello? Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Oh, sorry, we're there. We're there. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, that's fantastic. Can Can I just go and find Dave? Where's Dave?
Oh,
We've done it.
everything's gone through all right.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Well done.
No matter how relieved she may feel now, it's not over yet. Francesca still needs to complete, and if she can't get her hands on the keys, this could turn out to be a very expensive delay.
Oh, isn't that good?
Yeah, I'm glad for you.
Oh, wow.
130 miles away in Salisbury, it's day 2 of the 5-day Ferrier move. Shona is packing as she goes, but with 13 rooms to clear, she's not keeping up. And today, she has no help.
Yeah, because John's at work all day, so I've had to do the bulk of the packing. But to be honest, that's not really John's forte anyway, to be honest. I'm more organising packing.
It's 9 a.m. and the crew arrive knowing they have just 1 day left to empty the house.
Getting held up.
I seem to remember it, you know, appeared to be further back.
Had to work a little bit harder today, unfortunately.
Yeah. Did you warm up this morning? Yeah. Oh. Impressive. Good morning. Are you decorating this morning? There's still items scattered about all over the floors, but we're going to stay positive.
With their specialist training, a crew can pack up to 3 times faster than a client. And Shona's labelling system is slowing things down.
Put the labels in the wrong place.
They weren't really ready for us this morning. We couldn't clear a whole room. And it's only this morning when we've come back, we've managed to actually get one room empty, so it's hard work.
It's 3 o'clock and the lads are finally beginning to make progress. But there's a problem. For the second time, Shona has forgotten to set something aside, and now it's deep in the recesses of the truck.
What are you after?
My sewing, because I'm going to sew it in the car on the way up. So I can't sit still.
Can you read a book?
No.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Laptop.
Now we got to find a laptop.
Right, OK. How long ago did you do it?
That's one of the first boxes I've done.
Right, OK. Oh, that's odd, isn't it? We'll have to pull this tier out, I think.
Tell me, what's that one there?
All this bother is eating into their schedule, and unusually, Lee is losing patience.
It is the last thing you need. Now, we've got to start pulling out about 2.5 tiers of the load. There's no doubt about it, it's a nightmare job.
Oh well.
You're any good at limbo? That was quite impressive.
Yeah? You like that?
I did.
It's a result, but it's cost them nearly an hour of packing time.
Thank you.
No problem.
He dealt with it very gracefully, but he didn't look very happy.
It's 4 o'clock, and with a crew of only 3, there's still a third of the house left to clear. On top of that, they have an 8.5-hour drive to Scotland and need to be on the road by 11 tomorrow. With all these diversions, Lee's under immense pressure.
You know, I'll be ripping my hair out. I've done that this morning already, there's nothing left to rip, so what do you do? Can you remember how this lot goes back together?
And Lee's not the only one at the end of their tether.
I just want it to be finished now. I'm very tired. Yeah, I just want it all over.
It looks worse than it is. I predict around about 11-ish we'll leave here tomorrow. Give or take half a day the way it's been going.
50 miles to the northeast in Burnham, Buckinghamshire, thrash metal enthusiast Simon Rice is getting his wife Ellie and their 2 girls, Isabel and Abigail, ready to move to the Big Apple.
I love the idea of joining a metal band in New York, and with the whole scene that's going on there. Yeah, I'm excited about carrying that on there.
The family are leaving their home in the southeast of England to travel 3,500 miles across the Atlantic to start a new life in Bronxville, New York. It's the American dream come true. They'll be upsizing from this 900 square foot 3-bedroom semi to this 4-bedroomed 1,800 square foot house.
We've wanted to live in America for years and years, and in June I started work with a company in Manhattan.
There's no point in saying, you know, in 10 years' time, oh, I wonder what it would have been like if the girls had grown up in America.
And the 3,500-mile journey begins here, the Wembley depot in London, the largest of its kind in Europe.
Bronxville, United States of America. Don't sound that nice though, does it? Bronxville, New York. You always think of the Bronx as being rough, don't you?
Today's team is Gary, Jim and Matt. Gary is an ex-roofer who's been in the removals game for 25 years. He joined the company 6 years ago. 59-year-old Jim, known as Uncle Fester to the crew, is the team veteran. While eco-warrior Matt spends his free time campaigning for the environment.
Take all day, mate, we never get there. We're already late.
Pickfords do around 15,000 international moves annually, with the average cost for shipping being around £4,000. But the Rice family are incurring extra costs because they have some unusual items to move.
Apparently they've got a couple of bearded dragons. You'd know about them, Jim. And some tortoises as well, I think. I mean, you being a tortoise yourself, the rate we're driving, we're never going to get there.
In fact, the family have 2 crested geckos, 2 dragons and a couple of tortoises called Spartacus and Maximus. And they've got a ticket booked with a specialist shipping company flying first class to New York at a cost of £1,400.
Hello, Puppet.
Luckily, these immigrants won't be needing a passport or quarantine, so they'll be waiting for the family when they arrive in New York.
They've got their own little partitions,
cool.
so...
Excellent.
And so the tortoises fly together as well.
Oh.
Hey,
hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm Simon.
Nice to meet you, Simon. I'm Gary.
Nice to meet you.
It's 9 a.m. on the day of the move, and the crew have just one day to pack the entire house.
Yeah, it's a typical girls' room. Yeah. This is Abigail's room. Yeah, so we'll mock everything for Abigail's room.
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Yeah, Abby. Yeah. You won't be able to spell Abigail, will you?
Yeah, that's right. She calls herself Abby as well.
The family aren't taking much furniture, but they can't do without their beloved sofa. And it's the girls' toys and Ellie's pictures that will make their new American house a home.
I'm so excited about New York.
But not everyone is keen on New York.
Don't like America. Everything's too big and just don't like it.
See, the trouble with Gary, he wouldn't be allowed to go because he's under the thumb.
I'm under the thumb, I'll do what I want, but I do what my missus wants as well. It's easier.
Ellie! Ellie!
Hello.
Hello, Papa!
For Ellie, the reality of the move is hitting home.
Safe journey. I will miss you.
I'm going to miss you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's really hard saying goodbye to people, knowing that it's never going to be as easy as them walking past on their way to the shops and just being able to come in and...
This is the house the girls have grown up in.
It just seems like all the life and personality is sucked out of a room when all of their things have gone. They're going to go on a boat and then they're going to go to New York, to our new house.
It's quite strange.
It is quite strange, isn't it?
Need you to sign our job sheet up. No problems. All the best.
Yeah, all
Take
the best
care.
well.
Thank you very much. See you later, girls.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
You're going to miss this house?
Yeah.
My house. Oh, my house.
It was our first proper house.
Just a house, isn't it?
Coming up, in New York, things are not going to plan.
As far as I know, my stuff is over the Atlantic somewhere. The thing I miss the most, I think, is my guitar.
And in Somerset, there's troubling news.
I was just phoning to see how far we'd got with the completion. Oh, right.
In Salisbury, it's the third day of the Ferrier family move to Fife. It's 9 a.m. and the crew need to be on the road by 11 to Scotland. But overnight, more belongings have appeared.
It looks worse.
Does it?
Is that possible? Things are appearing. Stay positive.
Husband John is around today, but with no childcare organised, he's got his hands full. The family was supposed to have the loose items boxed for the crew to load.
They're not really ready for us. We're going to have to stay positive here because it gets a bit daunting.
Lee's not the only one feeling fed up.
I just want to leave now and get on the road. It's a bit frustrating. It doesn't feel like there's anything left in the house.
It's 11 o'clock, the time they should be on the road. They're nowhere near ready. And Tony's got more than he bargained for. And in the freezer, that's ratatouille to you lot. It's 11:30 and at last the top floor is cleared.
How's the light then?
Well, that's not ours anymore.
Bit tight through here, mate. Very tight.
Oh, no.
A scratch like this could cost Lee his monthly £50 no damages bonus.
We've had a little bit of a problem with the fridge freezer. It's grazed it along the front. We are under a lot of pressure to try and get away. It's going to be much easier if we just sort this out at the delivery address.
It's 1 o'clock and it's taken 3 men, a lorry, a van and 90 man-hours to clear the Ferrier house. Now Lee faces an 8.5-hour drive to Scotland.
This is a nightmare. I actually feel like going home. It really has been one thing after another. And for me, this is just kind of the last straw, really.
After giving the engine a jump start, Lee knows this isn't going to be an easy fix.
Right, we found out what the problem is with the truck and the batteries aren't charging properly. So maintenance control have made arrangements for new batteries to be fitted at a local dealership.
They are 4 hours behind schedule and all Lee can do is send Dave and Tony ahead, knowing he faces the trip from hell.
And I'll meet them there at God knows what time, midnight by the looks of it.
After 8.5 hours driving in filthy weather and freezing conditions, Lee calls it a day.
I'm absolutely knackered and I can't wait to have a quick bite to eat and get my head down.
New York City, a world away from leafy Buckinghamshire. Rocker Simon and his family have been in Bronxville just outside Manhattan for a month now. They've moved into their house. And their pets, the geckos, the dragons and the tortoises, Spartacus and Maximus, have arrived. But the house is empty. Their toys and possessions have been delayed at sea.
As far as I know, my stuff is over the Atlantic somewhere. The thing I miss the most, I think, is my guitar. It's surprising how much you miss that piece of wood, you know.
Look at me!
Life in an empty house has been miserable, and the family are desperately missing their home comforts.
Really, it's really important to the girls to have their toys. It's going to mean the world to them to actually have some familiar things. I think will make it feel more like our home. In the meantime, we're just using Bronxville as our playground, as you can see.
Finally, 6 weeks after their things left the UK, there's some good news. The container has arrived.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Randy.
Hi, Randy. I'm Ellie.
Hi, this is Alex.
Hi, I'm Ellie.
Finally, the stuff is here, right?
It's here.
Checking off the inventory is the final piece of red tape, but a very important one.
Box number 36, toys.
In Izzy's bedroom, please.
Okay.
After 6 long weeks, the girls can barely contain themselves.
Can you help?
Yeah. Yay! Yeah! I found one of your stuff in one of my boxes.
I think the girls are already excited. They've discovered some of their toys already. Which is quite nice to see them so happy after so long of moping around.
America's gonna be much better now that I have my toys.
The girls got their toys back and, you know, I got mine.
Okay, I'm gonna get the big furniture, the sofa.
And their furniture, like the sofa and chairs, will make all the difference.
I mean, if they're happy, I'm happy too.
This is the picture that I really wanted to unpack. It's nice to get more of our things to make it into a home. Perfect. I don't think I'll ever get tired of looking at it.
It's taken 4 weeks longer than they thought, and the total shipping bill, including the pets, came to £4,300.
It's really, really nice to move you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's 3 weeks later. Surrounded by their own things, life is sweet.
Just the relief of just being able to sit on your own sofa, watch your own TV, it makes all the difference in the world, yeah. I haven't joined a band yet in the States. I think it is something that I'd like to get back into, but give it time and things will happen, I think.
They've uprooted their life, left friends and family, and travelled 3,500 miles. But despite some hiccups, it seems to be working out.
The school's really nice and the girls are thriving. Kind of getting to the point where actually I feel like I've got friends.
Although it's early days, the Rices feel like the States really could be the land of opportunity.
Yeah, just how people kind of make a life for themselves over here, and it's nice to feel like we're part of that and that the girls actually can do anything they want to do. It feels a lot more possible here. New York is awesome. I think even with the challenges we've had, we've just had no regrets at all, and I just can't wait for everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
In Devon, it's day 2 of self-confessed hoarder Francesca Witcher's big move, to be closer to her brother.
The joy of Francesca coming to live nearby is to be able to share some of those moments that we've missed. We can spend quality time together, which we haven't done for years.
Hello, Leon. Morning, Dave.
Right, mate.
How's it going? See you again. And you. Oh, come on in.
Overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff still to pack, Big Dave and the boys have called for reinforcements.
Glad you're here, mate. We need the extra help. There's a lot here to pack up.
Yeah?
Yeah. All that. All the pictures, everything you see up here. They're full up. Plenty to do, isn't there?
There is plenty to do. And we've got work.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Francesca may have exchanged contracts, but she's yet to complete, and she still hasn't got her hands on the keys. So she's putting her faith in higher powers.
It's going to happen. Just have to send this message out to the greater universe. It will happen. You mustn't have any doubts, because then they form a dark cloud above you, apparently.
These things happen, and it's quite upsetting for some people, especially they've got the pressures of moving house, the sale of things, and extra costs.
Dave's crew have been packing solidly for 15 hours. They haven't finished the house yet, and there's a nasty surprise outside.
I wonder what to expect down here now.
In her back garden, Francesca's got 3 outbuildings and a shed full of tools.
You've got a lot of hammers there, Francesca.
I certainly have. Every sort.
And axes.
Yes.
And super hoarder Francesca is insisting nothing gets left behind.
A bit of rotten tree wood. Some people take those things, don't they?
The second of 2 lorries is filling up fast, and the crew have just discovered Francesca's got another garden over the road with yet more sheds.
There's loads more stuff down here yet, Leon. Come and give us a hand, mate.
Oh my God.
Everywhere you go, you find a little hole with more bits and bobs in it.
I'm annoyed that we're running over time.
Finally, 14 years' worth of Francesca's hoarding is packed. It's taken 4 men, 2 lorries, a van and 59 man-hours, and they're running a day over schedule.
See you in the morning.
OK.
OK.
Bye-bye. Safe journeys.
And drive careful.
See you tomorrow.
Right, lovely. Cheerio.
Bye.
Pickfords carry out 30,000 domestic moves every year, and a typical move takes around 1.5 days. This move is anything but typical. With 3 days already on the clock, the lads are keen to get to the new house and get unpacked.
It's us. Get off.
9:30 in the morning, and outside her new house, just a couple of miles from where her brother lives, Francesca is hoping for news.
Good morning, it's Francesca Witcher. I was just phoning to see how far we've got with the completion. Oh, right. Yes. Thanks, Marion. Bye.
It can cause quite a bit of stress for the customer when their move hasn't been completed. You know, we've got a lorry load of their personal belongings and furniture, and they're technically homeless at the time. They're left in limbo.
Just off to make a few phone calls.
Last year alone, 1 in 3 house sales collapsed, and 25% of chains broke, leaving the buyers in the lurch. All they can do now is wait and hope. Coming up, Francesca is still waiting for news on the house.
All set to go as soon as we get the call.
And in Scotland, it's confession time for Lee.
Shona, we've got some, it's not the greatest news, but that's what's happened, which I can only apologise about that.
Deep in the Fife countryside, the Ferriers have arrived at their huge former rectory. With all that extra space to play with, John, Shona and the kids are delighted with their new country pile.
Yucky!
After a hellish 3 days, the crew have arrived hoping today will be straightforward.
This is the morning room, and these are the names we gave it. It's the names
The morning room, OK.
Morning room, yeah.
But before they get down to business, Lee has to come clean to Shona.
Shona, we've got some, it's not the greatest news, but that's what's happened, which I can only apologise about that.
The crew get a monthly bonus of £50 for no damages, and Lee knows his is at stake.
Yeah, no, it's not brilliant that the fridge freezer's been scratched, but we can cover it up. We put things, pictures, kids' pictures and stuff in the front of the fridge freezer anyway, so it'll be covered up. If that's the only bit of damage, then it's really not that big a deal.
Just watch you don't come off the edge here, mate. I think
It's a relief that Shona has decided not to complain. Now, can they squeeze it in without any further mishaps?
Well, you better walk it over.
Now the dust's dust beginning to settle, Shona's had time to reflect on how her system held up.
Yeah, because my system sort of ended up not working. The guys were too quick. I couldn't keep up with them. They just kept putting things in boxes everywhere. There's all 3 of them. There's like octopuses everywhere, gathering everything, putting it in boxes. So I only know what's in half the boxes.
A massive 168 boxes were used in this 468-mile mega move at a total cost of £3,840.
After the week we've had with this removal, I'm absolutely relieved that it's nearly over. It's been bloody hard work from start to finish. This is removals. You just take the rough with the smooth. And this one, we just literally had one problem after another.
It's been stressful because it's moving hundreds of miles from Salisbury to Scotland. I think it would have been a lot more stressful if we hadn't had the guys doing it with us, really. And they've been absolutely brilliant, can't fault them. I'm never moving again.
Unless we're in the lottery.
I'm not moving ever again.
Going to the south of France, maybe.
No, we'll buy a holiday home, win the lottery. I'm not moving ever again.
So, all the best.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you.
With the van safely parked up for the night, the only task now is to sample a good old Scottish pint.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, thank God for that. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
In Somerset, the South West crew are in limbo, waiting to gain access to Francesca's new house. They've been waiting for over 3 hours. It's now 12:30.
Francesca?
Yes?
I think there's someone here for you.
It's great news. Francesca has completed and the agent has sent the keys.
Guess what? Thank you so much.
That's all right. Cheers.
I've got the key. Hello, house. Here we are. Oh. I'm here.
Well, hopefully we can get going now, so might get it off today then.
Easier said than done. Francesca's new house is rather smaller than her old.
There's a cat's hell chance in fitting everything in that kitchen. It's half the size, if not less than half the size of her old kitchen. So we're going to have to think on our feet now how to see what boxes are more important than others and try and store some of the boxes that aren't really important.
Won't have to worry about the curtains tonight, Francesca.
No.
You think so?
Whacking through it here.
It's nearly 2:30 and the race is on to get the trucks unloaded by nightfall.
All right, ready? Yeah. Massive, mate.
As the piles of boxes grow, every inch of space will be needed to squeeze them all in.
This is getting quite full now, isn't it? And there's more to come, Francesca.
No.
Mummy!
Jessie, welcome to your new house.
Dear, oh dear, what are all these boxes?
Francesca's brother Paul is her very first guest, and he's in for a shock.
How many boxes? Have you counted the boxes?
Well, I think they reckon 500.
500 boxes?
Yes.
500 boxes?
Yes.
How many days is this going to take you?
Well, it can take the rest of my life. It really doesn't matter now. Now I'm here with you.
There you go. The last box.
It's been an epic move. 4.5 days, 500 boxes at a cost to Francesca of just under £3,000.
Bye, Francesca.
Bye.
It was nice knowing you, my love.
No, thank you
And
so
take
much.
your time with the boxes.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Bye. Thank you.
Well done. I was expecting that. Well done, little one.
Goodness me. Do you remember this tin?
Yes. No, why have you got 2 ironing boards?
I don't know. I've got Mummy's and I've got mine.
I know, well, you
just don't let go of things. But perhaps now I've got you, you see. Now I've got you.
We'll be here and sort it out.
I can let go of some things now I've got you.
Well, we're
It's
just...
because it's been so lonely.
I'm sure. But it's not lonely anymore.
No.
Next time. A jinxed move goes pear-shaped once again.
Well, we haven't got the keys.
A family swap their home comforts for a new life down on the farm.
OK.
This is not a good advertisement for health and safety.
And two demanding clients prove more than a handful for Gary.
We're not easy at all.
Well, at least they're honest, I suppose. The removal men are back next Wednesday at 8. Now, could JR be about to show his softer side? Stay put for New Dallas next tonight here on Channel 5, whilst over on 5 Star Next, the new season of Burn Notice continues.